Welcome, one and all, in here, out there, all around the world, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I hope everybody over there, hope everybody out there is having a happy Thursday. It has not been, thank you for representing. It's not been a happy week for former President, the Flabrador Deceiver. Tomorrow, both his lawyers and the Department of Justice are supposed to submit their suggestions for a special master to review the stuff they found at Mar-a-Lago. Thing is, former president might not be getting the best legal advice, because he is reportedly having a difficult time finding lawyers to represent him. What? But who wouldn't want to join the illustrious ranks of Jailed Guy, Magical Mr. Mustache, Madam Meow Meow, and Dr. Head Juice? Dr. Head Juice.
Head juice. You'll cure what ails you.
Dr. Head Juice. Of course, one possible reason lawyers don't want to work for the ex-pres is that doing so puts them at the risk of being disbarred for breaking the law, and they don't even get paid to break the law because the former president has a reputation for ignoring bills. To which Eric said, "I know how you feel, Bill. I know just how you feel." Right now, former president is struggling mightily to find a good lawyer because his current legal team consists of a Florida insurance lawyer who's never had a federal case, a former host at far-right One America News, and a past general counsel for a parking garage company. Please, Lord, I don't ask for much, but please let this go to trial. Objection, Your Honor! The prosecution forgot to get their charges validated at the Jamba Juice. When the former president does pay his lawyers, he has some fun with it, because we recently learned that the former president once tried to pay a lawyer with a horse. I don't know why we're surprised. After all, he did describe himself as a stable genius. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Talk about a genius right there. Here's what happened. Back in the 1990s, the former president owed an attorney $2 million, but when the attorney came to collect, the former president told him, "I'm not going to pay your bill. I'm going to give you something more valuable. I have a stallion. It's worth $5 million. And if you believe that, I have a bridge I'd like to sell you. And it's a horse." All of this legal falderall seems to be helping Democrats in the upcoming election because the continued dominance of the former president within his party allows Democrats to reframe the midterms as a choice between normal and extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, that sounds like an easy decision, but have you seen what Americans eat? Given the choice, we always pick extreme. Well, I was going to get a nice, healthy democracy, but if it's only 75 cents more, I guess give me the Code Red Fascist Baja Blast. Does that come with guac? Does that come with guac? In a normal midterm election season, the minority party almost always makes gains in Congress, but nothing about the country right now is normal. So while the GOP is still expected to win the House, polling site 538 currently gives Democrats a 70% chance to keep control of the Senate. And that is good news. That is great. And keep in mind, 538 is never wrong. Just ask President Hillary Clinton. So, what's giving the Dems this apparent edge? Women, in particular, are furious. Women are furious about the overturning of Roe v. Wade. In fact, after the Supreme Court decision came down, women's voter signups surged. Big mistake, Supreme Court. Big mistake. You did that. You gotta take away women's right to vote before you take away their right to choose. And the Democrats are doing everything they can to put abortion on the ballot. They spent $92 million in advertising already mentioning the issue, compared to $5.6 million in the last midterms. Oh, 2018. It was a simpler time when women still had bodily autonomy. We were popping Tide Pods like Tic Tacs, and a little bat in China was saying to his friends, guys, I'm sure it's just allergies. Now, for their part, the GOP knows. The GOP knows bats. For their part, the GOP knows they need to find a way to win back those folks whose rights they took away. So some of their male candidates have begun putting their wives in front of the camera to speak directly to voters in TV ads, because nothing says you respect women like making one do your job for no money. And when it finally is going to be time to vote, it might be a bit harder this year, and not just because Republicans want to make it that way, because there's a shortage of poll workers, due in no small part to an increased level of threats toward election officials and workers driven by election deniers, which is outrageous. Poll workers are just doing their jobs, taking 15 minutes to look up your name in the voter rolls. It's Colbert. It's spelled like Colbert. No, not with a K. No, not Cuthbert. Look, I can see it upside down in the ledger. No, don't turn the page. Doris, we do this every 2 years. I'm going to the bake sale. Let me know if you find my name. I'm sorry, Doris. So now states are getting creative. For example, in Maryland, there's no school on Election Day, and kids as young as 6th grade can volunteer as aides to poll workers. That will put an interesting spin on voting. Hello, sir, can I have your ID? I mean, can I just have it? I need something to buy beer with. Can I? Yes. Now, hold on to your beakers, nerds, because there's some news from the world of science. Down in Antarctica, a doomsday glacier is disintegrating faster than previously thought. Okay, that's terrifying. And I gotta say, it doesn't help that we're calling it the Doomsday Glacier. Can't we pick something a little happier, like the Free Guac Glacier or the Have You Lost Weight Iceberg? Scientists call it the Doomsday Glacier because without it, sea levels could rise more than 3 to 10 feet. More than 3 to 10 feet. So, 4 to 11 feet, one imagines. Turns out Doomsday is just a fun nickname. It's officially called the Thwaites Glacier. As in, just wait a couple of years and we'll all be swimming off the coast of Kansas. We've actually known for some time now, right, Thomas? We've known for some time, thank you, Barcelona. We've actually known how bad this could get for a while now. Here's how Bill Nye explained it at the end of last year.
This would be catastrophic. A place like Florida would be, in southern Florida, would be underwater.
Oh, no. Not southern Florida. That's where we keep our top secret files. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney. But when we come back, James Taylor and I update a classic song. Stick around.